Well, we're back talking about Pokemon controversies, and this time I want to go a little bit more in depth and make sure we actually offend someone on Twitter. Not really all that hard to do nowadays, but yes, my friends, welcome back to the world of Pokemon controversies. I'm your tour guide of the stupidity, only I don't look as good in a miniskirt. I'm MangaKamen. Let's begin. To no one's surprise, there have been quite a few controversial Pokemon designs throughout the years, even all the way back to Generation 1, what with Jinx being accused of blackface.
Jinx.
This is digital blackface.
To Cloyster, well, I'm sure you have the idea where I'm going for this. And there goes my money for this video. Yay! Needless to say, there have been some odds and ends when it comes to Pokemon. However, I want to focus on two specific Pokemon that have been accused of some very nasty things. Blaziken and Lopunny. Whatever. Now, if you're unaware, Blaziken is a fighting chicken Pokemon. Probably one of the best starters of all time thanks to its hidden ability and overall stat distribution. It's also started the cursed trend of the fire fighting starters, which if you ask some people back in the day was just as controversial as what I'm about to bring up. Pokken is a Pokemon-based fighting game, and Blaziken is actually a playable character in the game. Cool, right?
No, unacceptable.
Nope. Apparently, there was an overzealous parent who was watching his kid play the game and suddenly noticed, I'm not kidding, that he saw Blaziken have male genitals flashing on the screen.
That's awful.
Whoever this person is, named Life, which ironically enough is something they should get, claims that this Pokemon is, and I'm not joking, a symbol of porn. If you don't believe me, here's what they said. I have shown this picture to at least 10 other parents, all who share the same disgust. One person even stated that this is similar to exposing children to porn. Look, I get that Blaziken is a chicken and his theme is cockfighting, but that doesn't mean that the tuft of feathers down there is actually a pair of cock and balls. What kind of genitals have these parents actually been looking at to think that? Also, to point out, Blaziken isn't exactly a new Pokemon. This Pokemon is from Generation 3. You know, about 14 years old at this point. Parents didn't have an issue back then, and it's not like this Pokemon hasn't ever disappeared from the public's consciousness. This is just parents being shocked at seeing one screenshot, not bothering to look up anything, and immediately get mad and offended. Listen, if you think Blaziken is bad, keep its previous form from the parents, Combuskin. And if you don't see it, congrats, you don't have a dirty mind. For the second Pokemon we're talking about Lopunny, a Gen 4 Pokemon that if your eyes don't work, I'm sorry, but this is a visual and audio medium, and when the controversy concerns how Pokemon looks, I don't know what to tell you. Anyway, Lopunny was often considered a sexualized design, and that's not me saying it. Take it from a video that has well over 1 million views.
When I first saw Lopunny, my immediate thought was this. I know there are people out there that find Pokemon attractive, and it's not like Lopunny is the only Pokemon out there that has humanoid or even sexualized features. However, the fact that this Pokemon, which resembles a rabbit, has what I thought were such overtly sexualized features that it just kind of simultaneously creeps me out and pisses me off.
Oh no! And yes, there are plenty of people who are seeing this bunny as a Playboy bunny girl, what with the heads and the hips. Frankly, I think it says more about the people who see the design. And it's not that there hasn't been other Pokemon that haven't been seen to be sexualized. Let me introduce you guys to Gardevoir. Safe search on! So prepare for trouble and make it double, but probably a lot more than that since there's a lot the iconic bumbling villains have been criticized about.
Yeah, that's right.
Now, I'm sure we all know about the infamous bikini contest that outright got banned in the West. You guys know the one. It's the episode where James puts on inflatable breasts and, well, you know the story. Pretty much every YouTuber that's ever talked about controversy in Pokemon has brought this up. Let's talk about other aspects about Team Rocket. Everyone knows how Team Rocket love to dress up, and it's pretty much their hidden talent. But there was another episode that got banned because the character's dressing up. A lot of fans know about the one in the early episodes. Legend Rotini was banned because of its usage of firearm. I mean, you got Ash staring down the barrel of a revolver. I can see why some people would be upset about that. But there was also another factor, and that would be because of... Yeah, a lot of people saw the mustache and immediately thought, hey, I know that guy! There are quite a few other things to bring up, but Team Rocket is a criminal organization with these three apparently stalking a 12-year-old just to steal their pets. There's gonna be some issues with them, and we're gonna continue on with the next segment. It wouldn't be a controversy left if we didn't bring up censorship. Surprisingly, there were some interesting ones, like how Nidoqueen in the original Pokemon Stadium actually, well...
Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle.
Yeah. Or how Team Rocket was apparently full of... Giovanni's wine was switched with juice. You also had the more understandable parts like how Misty's card art was implied that she was naked and was changed. A reminder that Misty was 10 to 12 years old in the anime, and there's a lot more I could talk about, but won't because frankly I don't need the FBI breaking down my doors.
Well, how could I turn down such a pretty face?
Let's just say when it comes to censorship in Pokemon, hell, anime in general, there's always been some funny moments that, in the long scheme of things, don't make a lot of sense. Thank you, 4Kids! You have opened the doors for some of the funniest and oddest forms of censorship in the world.
Nothing beats a jelly-filled donut.
Like, everyone knows about the censorship of onigiri, kind of a culture shock that apparently we can never introduce kids to foreign cultures. Then there's stuff like languages. Many episodes of Pokemon also included storylines embedded in Japanese culture or mythology. A prime example is Ninetales. A Pokemon themselves represent pieces of Japanese culture, and 4Kids decided to just ignore that. In Just Waiting on a Friend, Ninetales represents the legend of the Kitsune, who is able to create illusions and turn themselves into humans. There are other episodes of Pokemon also falls into censorship, but there are some pretty good reasons why, and we'll talk about them probably in future installment. But one of the funniest that I can find is that there's a dub of the anime that actually was shelved because it was a clip show. Not even kidding, it's episode 397 in Japanese, and the only reason why it was skipped in the dub was because it was a clip show. Many people who are longtime viewers of this channel may already be aware of the situation from a couple of years ago, back when Sword and Shield first cropped up. Are you gonna talk about Deck that? No, rather when the characters were starting to be showcased, we started seeing some of the female characters and how the internet started going gaga over them. First was Sonia, then it was the subject of this portion of the video, Nessa. Unfortunately, when fan art started coming out about Nessa, people started to get a little hot under the collar as two specific artists had drawn art of Nessa, with a slightly lightened color of skin, and they claimed that it was whitewashing. I've made a video or two about this, and how I thought it was stupid because these people who complained about this didn't understand things like lighting, or artistic liberty, or, you know, acting like civil human beings without having to dogpile the artists and treating them like racists.
Oh my god!
These artists started to get attacked and dogpiled by people, even so far as labeling these artists as bigoted, racist, you know, everything under the sun. And well, people didn't really care for that. In retaliation, several people started drawing Nessa intentionally with white skin just to piss people off. And frankly, I don't approve of that. Granted, I don't like the people who basically showed a lack of understanding when it comes to lighting, and frankly, it was a whole mess that shouldn't have been made a big deal at all. And unfortunately, something like that happened again with another gym leader, B. The only difference this time was that it was from the official anime of Twilight Wings, and not from a fan artist. But it's still just as dumb, since it shows that a lot of people don't understand how lighting works in the world. At least that's my stance on it. I don't support whitewashing and all that jazz, but this just wasn't it, and it didn't deserve to get people harassed for it. And that's the second installment of this Pokemon Controversies list. Tell me what you guys think about the controversies brought up, and if you have a suggestion that isn't Texan, please let me know down below. I'm MangaKamen, and remember to examine your fandom.